jingle bell rock, jingle around the sun. Mixing and mingling the jingle bell beat, that's the jingle bell rock. Ba-doo, ba-doo-doo. Okay, we're getting into Joringa and Joringa. There once was an old castle in the midst of a large and thicket forest, and in it an old woman who was a witch dwelt all alone. In the daytime she changed herself into a cat or screech owl, but in the evening she took her proper shape again as a human being. She could lure wild beasts and birds to her, and then she killed and boiled and roasted them. If anyone came within 100 paces of the castle, he was obligated to stand still and could not stir from the place until she bade him to be free. But whenever an innocent maiden came within the circle, she changed her into a bird and shut her up in a wicker work cage and carried the cage into the room in the castle. She had about 7,000 cages of bare birds in the castle. Now there was a maiden who was called Joringa, fair of all the other little girls. She and a handsome youth named Joringa had promised to marry each other. They were still in the days of betrothal, and their greatest happiness was being together. One day, in order for that they might be able to talk together in quiet, they went for a walk in the forest. "Take care," said Joringa, "that you do not go too near the castle." In was a beautiful evening, and the sun shone brightly between the trunks of the trees into the dark green forest, and the turtle doves sang mournfully upon the youth brought by the birch tree. Joringa wept now and then. She sat down in the sunshine and was sorrowful. Joringa was sorrowful too. They were as sad as if they were able to die. They looked around them and were white and lost, and they did not know by which day we should go home. So the sun was still half above the mountain and half set. Ringo looked through the branches and saw the old walls of the castle close at hand. He was horror-stricken and filled with deadly fear. Joringa was singing, "My little bird with a neckline red sang sorrow, sorrow. Hey song that the dove must soon be dead. Sing song, so jug jug." Joringa looked for Joringa. She was changed into a nightingale and sang jug jug. The screech owl with glowing eyes flew there times around her, and 3 times cried, "To who, to who, to who." Joringa could not move. He stood there like a stone and could neither weep nor speak nor move hand or feet. Then the sun had now set, and the owl flew into the thicket and directly around afterwards and came out of the crook of the old woman, yellow and mean, with large red eyes and a hooked nose and pointed which reached to her chin. She muttered to herself, "Catch the nightingale," and took it away in her hands. Joringa could not speak nor move from the spot. The nightingale was gone. At last the woman came back and said in a hollow voice, "Great thee, Ezekiel, for the moon shines on the cage. Ezekiel, let him loose at once." Then Joringa was free. He fell on his knees before the woman and begged that she would give him back his Joringa, but she said that he should never have her again and went away. He called and he wept and he lamented, but all that day, "Ah, what is it to become of me?" Ringo went away and at last came to a strange village. There he kept sheep a long time. He often walked around and around in the castle and didn't come near to. At last he dreamt one night that he found a bloody red flower in the middle of which was a beautiful large pearl, that he picked the flower and went with it to the castle, and that everything he touched with the flower was freed from enchantment. He also dreamt that by means of it he recovered his Joringa. In the morning, when he woke, he began to seek over the hill and dale if he could find such a flower. He sought until the 9th day, and then early in the morning he found a bloody red flower. In the middle of it there was a large dewdrop as big as the finest pearl. Day and night he journeyed with his flower to the castle. When he was in 100 paces of it, was he held fast. He walked in the door. Joringa was full of joy. He touched the door with the flower and swung open. He walked in through the courtyard and listened for the sound of the bird. At last he heard it. It was found in the room which he came. There that which was feeding the birds in the 7,000 cages. When she saw Joringa, she was angry, very angry, and scorned, and spat poison and galled him. But she could not come into the toothpaste pit. He didn't take notice of her, but went and looked at the cages and the birds, and there were many hundred nightingales. How was it to find his Joringa again? As then he saw an old woman quickly take away a cage with birds in it and go towards the door. Swiftly he sprang towards her, touched the cage with the flower and also the old woman. She could not no longer bewitch anyone, and Joringa was standing there, clasping him around the neck, and she was as beautiful as ever. Now that was Joringa and Joringa, and my analysis was, Joringa knows no true other love than himself from free from zero. So, with that said again, Joringa knows no true love other than himself free from zero. So with that said, Feliz Navidad. Thank you.